But first, a disturbing story out of Peoria tonight. Video that seems to show a man beating a dog to death.
Yeah, the dog's owner whacked it on camera, then called police. And Fox 10's News' Nicole Christine live with the details tonight. Nicole, this is...
Did she say whacked? She said it was whacked on camera?
Peoria tonight. Video that seems to show a man beating a dog to death.
Yeah, the dog's owner whacked it on camera, then called police.
The dog's owner whacked it on camera? Now, I don't think it was the owner. I think that was a mistake. Let's continue.
Police and Fox 10's News' Nicole Christine live with the details tonight. Nicole, this is an absolutely horrifying story.
Yeah, Brian and Ashley, you don't even have to be a pet owner to feel for this family in this story. It is a really...
I feel nothing. I'm not a pet owner. I feel nothing. You understand?
Tough story.
In fact, that's one less dog that I have to worry about.
To tell. And this family understandably devastated by the loss of their beloved dog, but also concerned for the safety of other pets and even people in their neighborhood. As of this time, the person in the video has not been arrested. Now, we do want to warn
Good.
viewers at home that the video and some of the images in this story could be very disturbing.
When we woke up this morning, you just felt the sadness.
A Peoria family mourning the loss of one of their...
Oh boy, here we go. When you woke up, you felt the sadness. No, you didn't. You didn't feel nothing. She just lying now. She trying to say she felt like something was wrong.
Their own today.
He protected us. If anybody...
You lying again. Dog is not protecting y'all.
He protected us. If anybody came and, he was there to protect, and also a really good family member.
Chiquilin was a good dog. He was a very good dog.
That's 3 lies already. Pay attention to this. These people are perpetual liars. This is one of those dogs that barks and attacks everything. A good dog. Listen to this.
Chiquilin was a good dog. He was a very good dog. He was the sweetest.
The family says Chiquilin, known as Cheeky or Chicken Wing for short, somehow got out Friday afternoon. And then the family got a call from a neighbor who said another neighbor was on camera beating Cheeky with a shovel and tossing his body over a wall.
And she's like, yeah, he just threw him over the fence. And when we walked, I told him, and they're like, hey, I was still on the phone with her. We ran outside. And next thing you know is when we're running over there, my dog's just laying on the floor.
Cheeky's injuries were too serious, and the family had to say goodbye Friday night. Their sadness turning to anger at the actions that led to Cheeky's death.
People never even imagine that people have the heart to do that. Mm-hmm. But yet again, we don't know how people are. We don't know who they are. We don't know what they're capable of.
Peoria police say the neighbor claimed self-defense and that Cheeky was coming after his pets. So he tried to, quote, swat the dog from behind, and Cheeky turned at the wrong time. Police say after viewing the dash cam video, the footage seems to tell a different story. The family now fearful for the safety.
Now, they actually had testimony from the man that they didn't include in this report. That man said that dog was attacking his cat. The dog was in the process of attacking his cat. Their dog escaped, broke into his property, got into his fence, and was attacking his cat. And she's sitting up here saying that was a good dog, the sweetest dog. But this media outlet left that part out. The man, now, you imagine this. Let's say you're a cat owner, or, you got a rabbit or a hamster. Out of nowhere, here comes this dog, and it's attacking your pet. You know that this dog can kill your pet. So, yeah, grabbing something like a shovel and whacking that dog sounds reasonable, right? Sounds reasonable to me. If if you're not a gun owner or you don't want to endanger the public like that, you should have had control over your stupid dog. And if your dog wasn't so bloodthirsty, it wouldn't have been deleted because it would not have attacked his cat. It wouldn't have entered his property to begin with. So you're irresponsible and your stupid, worthless mutt is violent and bloodthirsty. You don't get to wag your finger at the man that defended himself, defended his pet and his property. And you stupid media outlet, you don't get to project these people as innocent victims. These are not the good guys. That man is. And this is despicable how they framed this story. And notice how she don't hold any responsibility, neither one of them hold any responsibility for not having control over their stupid dog. Acting like people just supposed to accept your dog escaping and entering their property. No, lady. No, nutters. Man, you nutters are inhumane. Y'all have no idea how inhumane you are with the way you behave. And you don't care. I'm telling you, you are a population of psychopaths. And it's crazy that you don't know and you don't care. You don't know and you don't care. Crazy is all get up and don't care. Now I want to see if I can get this other report. There are actually two reports. Two different reports. And apparently one of them is chopped up. And they didn't show the man's testimony. But you know, that's always the case. They never want to hear the other side of the story. They don't want to hear the man's side of the story, or, you know, the person who unalived the dog, who defended themselves from the dog. Here is not in here either. So yeah, looks like justice will serve to me. If you check the laws, you're actually allowed by law to unalive a dog that's in the process of attacking your pet. It doesn't matter that the dog itself was small. That's irrelevant. That small dog had the capability to unalive your small cat. That's just a fact. It's not like the man was saying he was involved in self-defense. He didn't say the dog was attacking him. And even if the dog was attacking him, I believe he would be within his rights to use that shovel and smack that dog with the shovel. So I don't even know what they're talking about in this case. But you see, the media outlets, they're trying to defend these people anyways, even though they don't have a case. If you ask me, you don't have a case, lady. Your stupid mutt, if it wasn't so bloodthirsty, if it wasn't so obsessed with attacking people and attacking other living creatures, it wouldn't have been smacked to death. And if you ask me, that's exactly what that worthless mutt get. You go attacking something, and in self-defense, you get unalive. That's what you get. Why are we trying to show sympathy and pity for this dog anyways, when it was in the process of attacking this man's cat? Just look up this story. He was attacking his cat. Stupid, worthless, brainless mutants. Now, this is a recent case. It was uploaded to this media outlet 6 days ago. Welcome back, by the way. Shout out to everyone. I wasn't here yesterday, as some of you know. Yesterday was my birthday. So I sort of celebrated and I didn't have any time to produce content. And thanks for the happy birthday wishes that I did receive. Now, let's move on to another case. Now, I got to be careful with this one. Because for whatever reason, they sort of show, what happened. This was uploaded and actually shared just a few days ago, 3 days ago for this.
And an update tonight on the dog and that disturbing animal abuse case in Long Beach we reported last night. Police have rescued the dog and it is now in the care of Animal Services. They have also arrested a suspect believed to be responsible.
Okay, so that's real short. This guy, if you watch the video, he slams the dog to the ground. He's walking with the dog and he slams it to the ground. Okay, here they have some other videos about it. Looks like they're building a case on this one. Let's check this.
Disturbing case of animal abuse reported in Long Beach. A witness sharing video and details of a man violently choking, slamming, kicking, even hanging a dog. We've purposely cut out the brutal version of this video for sensitive viewers. Good evening. You're watching LA Live News Tonight. I'm Christine Devine.
And I'm Susan Hirosuna. Thanks for joining us. I'm here for Marla Tellez. All right, we want to warn you again that the full video can be hard to watch. It was posted on a neighborhood app.
Now the Long Beach Police Department is getting involved. We go live to Long Beach. That's where we find Fox 11's Ed Lascos with more. Ed?
Christine, this is security video we're talking about here. Sickening video, to be honest with you, and also, to be honest with you, good to make that warning. I saw this video once, and I don't even want to see it again. It really will. It's tough to watch. It happens early this morning in an alley off 12th Street, just off Long Beach Boulevard, as the metro tracks run along there in a vacant yard. Here's the video. Watch it. The man is walking. He has a dog on the leash over here.
Oh. So not only did I pause it, but they pause it as well. Okay. And we're going to skip past this. Yeah, we know what happened. He slammed it a couple times and I think he kicked it once.
He yanks the leash and makes the dog walk away in pain. The video has gone viral, and this video now has neighbors saying it has gone just way too far. Several of them, a group of them.
What has gone too far? Cases like this? Y'all tell me. Do cases like this outweigh the attacks on their youth?
Out about an hour or so ago with these flyers, putting them all over that area. A picture of this creep that they want arrested off the streets ASAP. They're heading on that flyers.
That creep is a dog lover. You hear that, AME? All you nutter organizations crying about so-called dog abuse. Y'all the ones that do this stuff. You same nutters that we see online all the time. Y'all the #1 abusers. Walk around calling us abusers. Y'all wish that we the ones out here doing this stuff.
Says a severe animal abuser. He's the target, I can tell you, of a search by Long Beach police this hour in that neighborhood. And the folks who've been watching that video say they can't believe it happened in their neighborhood, but they say this one is just out of control. Listen.
It was horrific. It's horrific. I've never seen anything like it. It was the most horrific.
Now you're lying. That's not the worst thing that any of us have seen in our life. So stop lying. It's not like the dog's brains were splattered and went flying everywhere. Shut up. And they always throw on all these extras when it comes to dogs. Did you never hear them going over and putting extras on dog attacks on their own youth? You never hear them talking like this. They always minimize it and call it was just a bite. Oh, it's just a bite, just a bite. Dirtbags.
It's horrific. I've never seen anything like it. It was the most horrific abuse of an animal that I've ever seen.
And then he just slams it, and then he just picks him up, and then just puts him in the back, and then he kind of hits a white car, and then just proceeds to keep on going down this alley. And so, I mean, like, that was the screams of like, it's just, I mean, it's pretty messed up.
That was the
his impersonation of the screams was funny.
Dog screaming.
Yeah, that was the dog, like, whimpering. Yeah, I was literally crying.
That's a sound you never want to hear, the dog whimpering.
Check that out. Boy, look at how against this they are. And they have no problem when these things attack their own youth. What do? They blame the youth. Yeah, that's why I can't co-sign with it. I'm not going to join in this pity party for dogs. I don't care what the report says. When these things mutilate and torture your own youth, y'all never talk like this. Y'all don't have the same energy for dogs. But you got this energy for people who carry out this act against dogs. Now, my question is, what I'm wondering is, what did that dog do to drive this dog lover to do that? Because that was a dog lover. And we know how dog lovers are. They go overboard. Probably got a social media full of photos and videos of that same dog. But yet that same dog will drive them. This is the norm for dog lovers. They're always teeing off on their dogs. Their dogs are always driving them crazy. My question is, why? It's because we're incompatible. We're not supposed to cohabit with these things. Y'all trying to force a lifestyle that's unnatural. And that's why they drive you crazy nonstop. The number one culprits of dog abuse is dog lovers themselves.
Crying out in pain. I can tell you Long Beach police are very aware of this.
You never hear them talking about how their youngsters was crying out in pain as they were being attacked. Y'all have never heard them say that. And we know what's happening. You get a newborn, a 2-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old being attacked by a dog. You know they're screaming nonstop. Have you ever heard them reflect on the screams? Nope. I've never heard it. Yet this is not the first time they've reflected on the sounds of dogs whimpering. Sorry, nutters. I'm too traumatized right now by the sounds of people screaming in pain. Okay? Okay, I'm too traumatized and occupied by that sound right now to care about dogs screaming and whimpering.
They're out with a statement right now saying that they
People
will
keep in mind their ability to scream and whimper, if you ask me, is a part of the fact that they're brood parasites. Dogs are, in fact, literal brood parasites. That's just one of the traits that they've evolved.
Will not tolerate animal abuse of any kind in their city. They want this guy off the streets ASAP as well. They're asking anyone who might have information to give them a call. Also, I can tell you, if it helps out, PETA is getting involved with all of this, offering a $5,000 reward for the arrest of this creep. Everybody wants him because they're concerned.
Wow, listen to that. Do you ever hear him bad-mouthing dogs? This mutt that attacked this youngster. Oh, I hope they euthanize this worthless piece of trash mutant for attacking this newborn. Oh, I hope they euthanize it. No, instead, what do they say? The animal wasn't hurt. It was humanely euthanized. It's quarantined, but it was not hurt. Listen to this. Always compare their reaction.
If he has this type of violence against the dog, it can easily escalate. They're also looking at...
Yeah. You never hear them say that this dog is a danger to the public and it has to be euthanized. They always talking about rehabilitation, sending it to another state, sending it to a specialist, and all this type of nonsense. Oh, yeah. But when it's a person They want him executed, thrown in prison.
Talia, for that dog, they don't know if it survived. Still no sign of the dog injured or who knows what.
Shut up. Who cares? You dog screwing freaks. This comes from the fact that so many of you are literally in bed with these things. You nasty subhumans. I'm sick of these disgusting, pathetic excuses for human beings.
Might have happened at this point. For now, we're live in Long Beach. Back to the west side we go.
So, and obviously they have the video there. Do they have any leads? Like, do they think...
Shut up. Nobody cares about this worthless piece of trash. Not over here. Get out of here. That was 4 days ago. Now this next story out of Hawaii, 7 days ago.
Right now, we're turning to a horrific dog beating that was caught on camera. The video now making its rounds on social media, and the dog owner has been cited with animal cruelty and faces a year in jail and a fine of up to $2,000. But a warning tonight, some people may find the video disturbing. Our Kristen Concilio has this story.
In this disturbing video, we've chosen to freeze a woman repeatedly slams her dog named Zuko before shoving him into the trunk of a car.
First slammed it to the ground, and then the dog's trying to get away, so she picked it up again and slams it on the ground second time. As the dog.
So they don't show the violence. They did not show the violence. So she slammed it just like the other guy did, basically. But guess what? This lady is a dog lover. So what did this dog do? I told y'all, these things are not pleasant to be around. They don't reduce stress. They increase stress. Why do you think this happens so often? Yet they want to act like these things are the #1 cure for stress.
Dog's trying to get away, so she picked it up again and slams it on the ground second time. As the dog still tries to get away, then a third time, and then a fourth time. That video is pretty horrific, and just to kind of for someone to see.
A woman slammed the dog 4 times. That is very much out of a woman's character. That's out of character for female American dog lovers. So again, what stands out to me is what drove her to that point. If you don't wonder that same thing, you're inhumane. You all a goofy, retarded nutter worrying about the dog. You're inhumane. The humane person is worried about that person who's clearly mentally unhealthy, at least while in possession of that dog. And that dog might be the reason she's unhealthy. I'm quite sure she would not be in a rage like that if that dog were not there. Do you understand that? Oh no, nutters. They're always trying to hide and conceal how despicable and unpleasant it is to be in a company of dogs.
An abuse like that's to me, that's meets more of the heinous crimes.
After a cruel beating caught on camera, investigators rescued Zuko and brought him here to the Hawaiian Humane Society, where he's being evaluated for injuries.
The Hawaiian Humane Society says the case highlights the importance of community vigilance in protecting the most vulnerable that can't speak for themselves.
No. Dogs are not the most vulnerable. Your young is the most vulnerable. That's an outright lie, nutters. They are not the most vulnerable. Your young is the most vulnerable. Dogs never end up in the hospital after being attacked by your young. Your young is the ones who always, 100% of the time, end up in the ER, ripped apart from a dog. But yet these despicable subhuman nutters they will all universally agree with that statement. Oh, they are the voiceless. No, your young is the voiceless, you inhumane creeps. Nobody should have to tell you that. And you probably didn't think that on a video like this, with a topic like this, that you would hear me blaming you. Oh, yes, I am.
Injuries.
The Hawaiian Humane Society says the case highlights the importance of community vigilance in protecting the most vulnerable that can't speak for themselves.
Well, domestic violence is linked to
It highlights the importance of not owning these things as pets so that you're never driven crazy like this. Forget about all the fake smiles and you pretending to enjoy the company of these things for social media likes.
With animal cruelty. And it starts off with a simple, helpless animal being tortured, leads into...
These things are not helpless. They're lethal. Liar. That's what I'm talking about, nutters. Y'all always lying.
Bigger crimes, and that's when you get our murderers out there who just have no...
I'm sick of them doing that too. Projecting these people as future murderers. People slaughter animals systematically. They don't go on to become murderers. People discipline their own human kids. They don't go on to become murderers. Shut up with that. They say anything they can, anything they can think of. They think of the worst thing to say and they just say it when it comes to dogs.
No heart for it, you know?
The group's advocating for stricter animal cruelty laws as lawmakers consider increasing penalties for animal abuse.
No.
Animal cruelty.
We need to increase the penalties for you nutters who keep these things. That's the truth.
Is a precursor of all other sorts of violence in our community, and really taking animal cruelty.
That's a lie. These dogs drive people crazy. They drive people crazy. You don't get to then say that their reaction to being driven crazy is a sign that there will be a future murderer. Shut up. You're doing that to take attention away from how unpleasant these mutants actually are.
Cruelty more seriously is about protecting both people and pets.
For now, Zuko appears to be in good physical health. And
who cares? Shut up. Euthanize it, nutters. I care about this mutt. But you know what? Let's finish it.
Authorities are thankful to the public for saving his life.
In our day and age now, a lot of people are filming these incidences and now they're reporting it. So,
and what these dog owners, what they're doing, that lady, I assume she's the owner of that dog, she is aware that dogs themselves, the only thing dogs understand is aggression. They don't understand nothing else. They don't understand you giving them treats or none of that BS. They understand aggression. That's the kind of creatures they are. Just throwing that out there. That's why there's so many trainers who rely on intimidation tactics. That's why Caesar chops them and pokes them and stands in front of them, challenges them, because that's what dogs themselves do. Dogs don't give kisses. They don't try to regulate the behavior of other dogs in the pack with hugs and treats. They use violence and aggression, and that's the only thing they understand.
There are eyes and ears, and I always tell people, and then the message is, if you see something, say something, because we need to know. The animals out there need to be saved.
Kristen Concilio.
No. Our youth needs to be saved from you lunatics with these despicable, worthless vermin. They are the ones who are in danger. these cases are relatively, if you ask me, they're rare. They surface far less often than these attack cases. And remember, only like 1 out of 4 attack cases actually make the news. So listen, man, I am not moved. I'm not touched. I don't feel sorry for the #1 mutilators of humans, #1 mutilators of our youth. I don't feel sorry when anything happens to these things anywhere in the world. There is a population of people out here like this. Okay? And this is actually the humane thing to do. Okay? You should want the #1 predator of our youth removed. Completely removed. And they're so annoying. Even if they were toothless, I would want them gotten rid of. They're extremely annoying. They stink. And they're too toxic to keep on this earth. Far too toxic. Too much of a reservoir of disease, parasites, bacteria, germs, infections, the spread of infections, respiratory and otherwise. Always walking around with their mouth open, slobbering, flinging and swinging saliva everywhere. No, these things are too disgusting to keep in society. I'm dead serious. I'll make a whole stream about how dogs should be removed, even if 100% of them were toothless and unable to launch a physical attack. It's not all about attacks, which tells you how despicable overall these things are. Be bringing these things into schools and whatnot, talking about they help to calm you down. No, they don't. Tell that to these people who tweaked out and slammed them to the ground. What would they think had you walked up to them in that moment with a dog, talking about, hey, rub this, it'll help you feel more relaxed? Get out of here. I've never seen something fall on his face as hard as this has. This idea that dogs are therapeutic. Oh, come rub on them. They help relax you and make you feel better. That only happens for nasty nutters who are laying up in bed with these things. Now, I believe on the thumbnail, not the thumbnail, the title, I pointed out how I wanted to say some things in response to VHS, Humane Society, I think Vanderburgh.
What if you can create your...
They recently came out and made a statement in response to the dog attacks, these recent dog attacks, the spike in dog attacks. This was uploaded 13 hours ago. VHS, and look, they turned the comments off. Yeah, you better turn the comments off. Y'all know we coming. You making garbage like this. All these humane societies, y'all know what time it is, putting out this type of nonsense. Listen to this.
Now to Evansville, where the Vanderburgh Humane Society weighs in on 2 recent dog attacks in the tri-state, one of which was fatal.
Last week, a 4-year-old girl died from a dog attack.
Now, VHS says the attacks are heartbreaking, but to blame the dog or the owner is unfair, they say.
To blame the dog or the owner is unfair.
There are a lot of misconceptions when it comes to dog aggression.
Eyewitness News' Ann Powell has the story tonight.
The Vanderburgh Humane Society and dog owners are taking steps to educate the public after they say 2 tragic dog attacks impacted the tri-state last week.
It is very scary because when you're in the midst of that, you just don't know what to do and time freezes.
VHS says the bites happened during Dog Bite Prevention Week on April 14th, one in Huntingburg, where authorities say 4-year-old Evelyn Lopez died as a result of the dog attack. The other reported in Evansville and injured a woman.
These situations are always so tragic and heartbreaking, and our heart goes out to those families.
VHS says so.
That's a lie.
Social media exploded with comments after the attacks, blaming the owner and the dog. VHS says it is not fair to the pet or their owner.
That's the misconception. When you're talking about actual aggression that's unprovoked, that causes a dog to just attack people and really hurt people, that is genetic.
VHS said.
She said it's genetic. So it's not the dog's fault, and it's not the owner's fault. It's genetic. Well, what do I always say? When dog lovers, when nutters make statements like this, all I say is thank you. Thank you for helping us to build the case against these things as to why they should not be kept as pets. They shouldn't be kept in society at all. You telling us it's genetic for these things to launch unprovoked attacks? They clearly all out of excuses. So what are you saying, lady? That we should start adopting them like you're always begging us to do? Because it's genetic for them to attack people? Should we now accept these attacks because they're genetic? Accept dogs? Don't be critical? Adopt one today because their aggression is genetic? You lunatic. Let's continue.
That is genetic.
VHS says aggression often starts with the mom of the litter and can happen with any breed. VHS says there are ways to prevent aggressive behavior, one being spayed.
And let's say it does happen with any breed. If it happens with bully breeds, shepherd dogs, these large dogs, there's a greater threat. There's a greater threat of violence. And they are a greater lethal threat as well. Especially when you talk about bully breeds. So we need to be clear about that. Because they're always trying to throw that in there. It can happen to any breed. The breed doesn't matter. Yeah, it does. And look at these retarded mutants. Acting crazy. Jumping up and down. Mad because they can't attack nobody.
VHS says there are ways to prevent aggressive behavior, one being spay and neuter. The shelter says
that does not prevent nothing. They have in the past and will go on to launch attacks.
Not fixing pets can have dire consequences.
Intact males are significantly more likely to exhibit aggressive behavior.
Yeah, you better choose your words wisely. She said more likely. And that's not always the case. There's been cases where they become more violent after being spayed and neutered. And notice they talking about the males, not the females, because it's not so much for the females.
There are also telltale signs that owners can look out for. Amy Hart owns 2 dogs and says the signs can be easy to see.
The hair standing up on the back, the tail.
Shut up. Shut up, nutter. With your lying. The dog ain't even got no hair. What are you talking about? Typical dirtbag lie. You uneducated dirtbag, shut up. Look at this nasty. This is disgusting. And if it were so easy to see these signs, why y'all always getting attacked? How come y'all never able to stop the attacks before they happen by seeing these signs?
Signs can be easy to see.
The hair standing up on the back, the tail,
the tail what? She couldn't even think of a lie, so she moved on to the next one. A typical dog lover They're perpetual liars. They cannot stop lying. She's giving you a chain of lies right now, a list of lies. They can do that at the drop of a dime. Just start lying back to back, back to back. That's despicable.
See
the hair standing up on the back,
Lie.
the tail,
Lie.
you know, licking their lips,
Lie.
food around.
Lie. Lie. They're always licking their lips. Goofy.
When their eyes kind of bug out, you know, they're uncomfortable, and you have to be able to read your animals.
See? Gave you nothing but lies. How pathetic is that? What a pathetic, sad, worthless group of people. Y'all are embarrassing. Young people, again, why would you want to be a part of this group? You have to be like this if you want to be a dog lover. It comes with the territory.
Cautions, you're responsible for that dog's behavior. So if that means that you have to leash walk them in your yard only so they don't jump your fence, maybe that means wearing a muzzle in public. There's no shame.
That's pathetic. And there is shame. Leash walk them on your property only because it's so violent and bloodthirsty. It's not even safe enough for you to walk, even though it's on a leash. That's pathetic. And again, thanks for building the case to how bloodthirsty and violent and dangerous they are and how they shouldn't be kept as pets. This description you're giving right now is actually an explanation why they're bad for communities, bad for neighborhoods. And this is why the owners of these mutants are the worst people in neighborhoods. You're the worst people in communities. The worst neighbors to have.
That it's a great way for somebody to walk up to your dog.
Shut up. Euthanize them. That's what it sounds like to me. You're giving a description of something that badly needs to be euthanized.
Say, okay, maybe I shouldn't walk up and pet this dog. So, take precautions. There's no shame in it. It's better safe than sorry.
It is shame. You want to own one of these things, there's nothing but shame in that. You look like an idiot, an inconsiderate, inhumane dirtbag, psychopath, sociopath, who don't care about your life, your family's life, or anybody else's life in the neighborhood. You look worse than, being anything else. You own any other type of pet, you're acceptable. Think about that. Think about that. Hamster, a rabbit, a ferret, all these other types of pets, which are actually pleasant to be around, right? Because they're not bloodthirsty, violent, annoying, food-obsessed, deranged parasites like dogs. Okay? Get out of here. And this is coming from the Humane Society. This is the best y'all got? Yes, it is. They have nothing. They never have. Dog culture is just, no matter how high up in the ladder you go, the rhetoric, it doesn't evolve. It stays just as ignorant and dirtbaggish as it is on the lower levels. A lot of people think that these people in high places, humane societies, who else is it? The RSPCA? No. And this is the only part of society where you find that. Anything else? Once you get up to the CEOs and the office buildings and all that, that's where you get the high-tech information. Think of automobiles, for example. There's some things that a local mechanic can tell you about automobiles, and then think with the things you hear from the actual people who build the automobiles. They're going to give you a whole different rundown. That's not the case with dog culture. These nutters are the same no matter what.
In Vanderburgh County and Powell.
And they keep showing bully breeds. Nothing but bully breeds. Can't make this up. Now, I recently shared a video by K Nunn, right? Talking about that guy here on YouTube. Have y'all noticed that every opponent, every person that decided to publicly object to us, they've all been crazy, unhinged, illogical, and they've all failed in their mission, each and every one of them. What is it right here? Every single one fell flat on their face. And I think I said years ago that the only people who are going to object to us are the ones who are not bright enough to understand that they shouldn't object to us. And they went on to make a fool out of themselves, each and every one of them. Now, this latest guy, I'm not sure if he has totally fallen on his face yet, but if he hasn't, he will if he continues to try to come at us. I know they don't like it. Dog lovers, they hate it. But y'all really you can't talk down on us. We're not troublemakers the way that they try to project us as. They want to project us as these evil people. As anybody who's against dogs, they want to project you as the worst type of person in the world. I'm telling you, that logic don't work with us. It's going to fall apart. Y'all know what's happening. A lot of these people, they're listening to me. They're listening to my content, and they're drawing a bunch of conclusions. Oh, they're crazy, they're sick, they're evil. These are the people who support abuse. Y'all have noticed many of them say that we support abuse, but yet they've never heard us actually doing it. They'll just make things up. It's like built in the dog culture to lie, to pull stuff straight out of thin air. And you got to understand that. That way, because there's a lot of arguments and debates that we shouldn't even have with these people. It's unfortunate that we can't go back and forth with honest people. You know, if the person you're debating with is dishonest, you can't have a real debate. It's simple as that. All right, what is going on with y'all? What is going on this weekend? Yes. Shout out to everybody in the house. Has there been any crazy news to pop off recently? Yeah. Right. These people. Right. No, they don't love them. That's another thing that I wanted to point out. They pretend to love these things so much, but the truth is they don't love them. Like I said, if they truly love dogs, they feel guilty about restricting their freedom. They know dogs want to roam and, be outside, that that's where they should be. That's where they're designed to be. No, you wouldn't be okay with owning these things if you truly loved them. And then the propaganda, we defend ourselves against these things, and they try to project us as a dog abuser. I mean, what's this guy supposed to do? You got a dog chasing your cat, attacking your cat. He grabbed a shovel and whacked the dog. Now, in that video, he said things happened. He said he didn't mean to kill the dog. And I believe him. He saw it chasing his cat. He smacked it a few times. And I guess the dog stopped moving. Then he tossed it back over the fence. The thing is, if it hadn't trespassed on his property and attacked his cat in the first place, it wouldn't have happened. But they didn't pay any attention to her negligence at all. That's unfair media. That's unfair media. So the media is against us. The actions, the things that we do, how we respond, especially self-defense, get ready. If we're ever covered, you ever do something, you ever find yourself on the news, the media is going to be against you no matter what. Try to defend yourself. Try to argue self-defense if you want to.
The news.
Now, to report suspected animal cruelty on Oahu, you can call the numbers on your screen. Contact Hawaiian Humane Society's investigators number at 356-2250.
Man. Now, even dog lovers are driven crazy by dogs. How can we turn around and say that these things should be used as therapy animals? I made a petition talking about how, dogs should not be brought into hospitals. Health-wise, it's a violation. They're too much of a contaminant to the atmosphere, to the environment, to be brought into hospitals. But they're bringing them into hospitals to use as therapy for anxiety and stress. Don't y'all think it's been established that dogs do not reduce anxiety and stress? I think it's like overwhelming how obvious it is that dogs increase stress. They increase anxiety. But look at the different types of people that dogs increase stress and anxiety on. Dog owners themselves, like we just went over, right? We just went over a bunch of cases, or a few cases, of dog lovers / owners themselves who can't take it no more. Can't take this annoying, dumb mutant no more. Completely lost it. Also, think about people who are not dog people. Their stress and anxiety increase on sight. As soon as the handler walk into the room with dogs, their stress and anxiety goes up. So exactly who is having their stress and anxiety go down with dogs? Nobody. Nobody. And especially don't talk to me about no classroom full of young people. Don't even start that. I haven't done a search on therapy dogs in a while. Yeah, don't even try that. When you bring dogs into a classroom full of young people, their heart rate increases. All of them. They are all more excited. All of them. Nutter teachers. Y'all know this is the truth. They all get excited. And the same thing happens with adults. The last thing you are is relaxed. You stop it. That's actually disrespectful, people. For them to even suggest that these things are a cure for stress and anxiety. Now I saw this, so I didn't listen to it. Y'all know how much therapy dogs upset me. Scholarship to increase therapy dog programs. Tell me this is not happening. Therapy dog program looks to expand in schools across Cincinnati after success in Milford. This weekend, I'm making the petition to keep these things out of schools too. I should have made it at the same time. But this is too much. I'm kind of reluctant to even listen to this because it upsets me so much. All right. Let me grit my teeth so that I can bear the pain.
We're getting a better idea of how a push to put therapy dogs in local schools is making an impact.
Yes, WLWT News 5's Nicole Aponte live for us at Pattison Elementary in Milford. And Nicole, you recently saw for yourself just how effective these dogs can be.
All lies. Now, I used to live in Cincinnati. I learned how to clean windows in Cincinnati. And then I moved to Columbus to utilize my skill. But I want y'all to keep a lie counter if you can. I'm going to do my best. But once again, you're going to hear a whole bunch of lies.
Effective these dogs can be.
Megan and Stephen, good morning. Their focus here is putting this mental health in the spotlight for these.
Lie. Do y'all really think mental illness runs rampant in elementary schools?
Kids, and having these dogs around in classrooms and hallways has already made a huge difference in their everyday lives.
It's that they're calm, and like when I'm upset.
Dogs are not calm. Now, some of the dogs that come into these schools, if they're calm, it's because they're on drugs. I need all the young people to understand that and to not be fooled, because that's one of the ways they try to deceive you. Those calm dogs are on drugs. No dog is calm out in the general public around a bunch of people.
It's that they're calm, and like when I'm upset, they cheer you up, and they're just so nice to you.
That's sad that they coach these kids to lie. They coach them to lie. When you got a school full of young people like this, they happy nonstop. You don't even understand why they're so happy. When you're this young, you're happy just for no reason. Just being around other students lifts you up. Can we stop overlooking that? Especially like between classes, when everybody's in the hallway, you're not depressed. There are too many happy students around. Don't get out of here with this depression argument. That's not a problem in schools, especially elementary schools.
It's that they're calm and like to you. It's like a vacuum that sucks up my badness.
Now, y'all know an adult coached both of them to say these things. He said that they're like a vacuum that soaks up my sadness. And they're calling this the evidence of success that they found. And they're basing their expansion on what you just heard. Them coaching kids to say stuff in front of the camera. And y'all wonder why I despise dog culture, dog lovers so much. I mean, how much more despicable can you get? You know how classless and just purely evil this is? Evil. Sick and evil.
My badness.
The Milford District has a Circle Tail facility dog in each of its buildings, with a handler trained to help the dogs interact with students. 9 dogs.
Why would they need help? If they're so compatible and wonderful, why would you need some help? Why would they need help to interact with them?
To help the dogs interact with students. 9 dogs across the district support anywhere from 20 to 500 students each day. Jennifer O'Brien is a school psychologist at Pattison Elementary. She says the dogs have been a game changer.
We're teaching the kids a lot about how to
Shut up, you lying, crazy, nasty nutter. These kids are barely even touching these things. And so far, I've only seen 2 students. That half-hearted rubs, scratches they're giving these things. Don't tell me this is magical. You trying to argue that this is so therapeutic?
We're teaching the kids a lot about how to communicate about their feelings using words, and the dogs are able to communicate with
What? That don't even make sense. Now, the dog serves what purpose again, lady?
We're teaching the kids a lot about how to communicate about their feelings using words, and the dogs are able to communicate with them through nonverbal cues.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Body language and tone of voice, and they teach kids a lot about.
She don't know what she talking about either. This is a teacher. How scary. No wonder our schools are failing. No wonder we're falling behind. We select people like this to be teachers. How many of you understand? Are y'all following this lady?
It's a lot about those particular nonverbal skills that it's harder to teach.
Y'all just gonna pretend like she just made sense? Yep, you sure are. You goofy nutters. You about to put on a fake smile and pretend like she made all kinds of sense. Again, young people, why would you want to be a part of this group? You want to be like this? A zoinked out nutter? If you ask me, people, we should examine these people's brains like under a microscope. 'Cause I can almost guarantee you something's wrong with these people. Being around dogs all the time, something happens to you. These people they're not normal. I'm sorry.
Those particular nonverbal skills that it's harder to teach.
Many studies, including one from the National Institutes of Health, really shows and says that having these therapy dogs in classrooms and in schools can enhance a student's well-being. Circle Tail is looking to expand its...
And those studies are lying. You're lying.
Resources and expand in having more facility dogs in schools across districts in the greater Cincinnati area.
On top of that, we don't need to teach young people to be in the company of these killers. That's more important, especially with this increase in attacks. You know, you just heard this lady say that it's genetic for these things to launch attacks. So it's probably a bad idea to teach our youth to go up to these things when they see them. You see how counterproductive dogs are in society, how they are as therapy dogs, how counterproductive and unfit they are to keep as pets.
And hopes that Patterson Elementary and the Milford School District will serve as a positive example. Reporting live in Milford.
No, get out of here. No, get out of here. All right, how many people we got in the house? What do y'all think about therapy dogs? If anyone has anything to say about therapy dogs in schools, therapy dogs, where else are they hauling these things? They're bringing them into our schools, hospitals. You let us know. I'm going to open the line. I'm going to share the link. Now remember, if you have OBS and you use this link, this video is going to upload onto your channel. From what I understand, it's going to upload on your channel as well. Okay. Now, I almost don't know what to do. I've never done it. I've never had anybody on here at the same time. But if you have something to say, and especially if you support this nonsense, that's who I really want to hear from. I want to hear from the supporters of this BS. Here's another one. Okay, for the police department. We know this is not needed. These things are not needed, but they're doing it anyways. It's crazy. And here's another one. I missed this one too. Oh my goodness. Oh good. Bear with me. Hold up. I'm going to share the link and then I'm going to listen. I'm going to play this one.
Over time, therapy.
Oh yeah. This petition had to come next. I think I told y'all before.
Therapy dogs have become.
I thought, if I didn't, my apologies. But I thought I told everybody that my next petition is going to be against dogs, therapy dogs being brought into schools. No. All right. Now, I shared the link just now, and I'm going to pin it. Shout out to everybody in the building. We got everybody up in the house. Hope y'all doing well on this wonderful Saturday. I went into work for a couple hours, and I feel good. All right, now brace yourself. We had another... Okay, this is another school. This was uploaded, 4 days ago. This is crazy.
Over time, therapy dogs have become a more popular form of therapy. At Norwich Free Academy, social worker Mary McComsky shares her certified therapy dog, Sunny, with everyone on campus. During the past 5 years, this four-legged friend...
Look at that. This is what I'm saying. This guy is barely touching this dog. How's that therapeutic? Don't tell me this is therapeutic. I'm trying to believe you. But I'm sorry, I can't believe this.
During the past 5 years, this four-legged friend wagged...
It's not even paying attention to this guy. It's still looking at her. How's this supposed to be therapeutic for him? It's not. You're lying. Lord.
Campus. During the past 5 years, this four-legged friend wags his tail into the hearts of everyone he comes in contact with.
Wow. You delusional people. Everybody don't like dogs. God, you lunatics. This is what I'm saying. Why can't they accept that simple fact? Why would you assume that everybody likes anything? Who does that? I'm sorry. There's no other group in society that does that with anything. Dog lovers, they are unique. They do things that no other group does. And that's a good example.
It is proven that interacting with an animal...
interacting with something that's flat out ignoring you. This thing is focused on something on the ground, sniffing the ground, as always. Don't tell me this is therapeutic. This is not therapeutic interaction. It's not therapeutic interaction. Get out of here. You fake psychologists, whoever is saying this nonsense, you're lying. Any of you want to hop on here, feel free to. God, y'all are such liars. Look at this mutant. How it's completely ignoring her. It's behaving as if it wants her to leave it alone. Don't tell me it's therapeutic to interact and rub on this thing.
Given that interacting with an animal, especially a dog, can release a chemical called dopamine, making a person more happy. Sunny loves traveling to different classes to interact with students and faculty. If a person on campus ever needs help to cope with stress, Sunny will come to the rescue.
That looks so awkward. You telling me this lady right here just had a therapeutic moment? Stop it.
And faculty. If a person on campus...
She was scared to even touch that thing. Her anxiety is higher. Every time they reach their hand out to pet a dog, their anxiety increases because that's the moment where the dog could bite their hand. I'm talking human nature here. It's natural for your anxiety to increase in these moments. Just being around dogs. They're trying to convince us of something that's impossible. It's impossible for these things to be relaxing for human beings. Get out of here.
Students and faculty. If a person on campus ever needs help to cope with stress, Sunny will come to the rescue. Student Zane Richuti knows this firsthand.
That was not cool at all. Went and instructed this boy with autism to say that. That wasn't cool at all. Pathetic. Speaks even more to how despicable dog culture is. And look at this thing. Again, look at the excess skin on this mutant. So much excess skin, it's just all wrinkled and bunched up together. Get out of here. Young people. It's like this because this is a mutant. Dogs are not natural. God did not create dogs and never would create dogs. The only dogs God created are wild dogs. And those dogs should not be gotten rid of. Those dogs should actually be protected because they behave like natural animals, unlike these worthless mutants right here.
Looking on the sunny side, all who know Sunny can understand how he could bring joy into the cloudy days.
Crazy. This is nothing but dog cults, dog people forcing dogs onto the entire population. That's not being done with any other pet. That is crazy to me.
Life throws at us. And every time I've met Sunny, I could sense his calmness and how relatable he could be with others. From Norwich Free...
There they go, trying to call dogs calm again. Dogs are the least calm of all animals. They're the least calm of all animals. I'm so sick of the rhetoric and the lies these people put out about these things.
Academy, I'm Peyton Mick.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Every single report, every single video is a bunch of nonsense, a bunch of BS. Look at this, is crazy. 14 hours ago, 19 hours ago, they are truly going crazy with these therapy dogs. And it's all a lie. It's all based on a lie or a bunch of lies, right? A whole combination of lies.
Mark, thank you. The Richland School District in Cambria County welcomed a therapy dog to its staff today.
They're now one of few schools in our region to utilize pet therapy in what appears to be a growing trend of addressing the mental health crisis.
Olivia Bosser introduces us to that new staff member.
Y'all causing the mental health crisis with this type of stuff.
The Richland Rams rolled out.
And don't tell me students of this age range suffer from mental health issues. There ain't no mental health issues with this demographic. That's a lie. And look at this ritualistic setup. They had the students form two lines and got the dog walking down the middle.
The Richland Rams rolled out the red carpet to welcome a new addition to their
That's sick. Forcing students to worship dogs. That's all I saw. These people are sick. And that's another reason I would not put my kid in the public schools. No way.
community. Olive Ann.
She is actually trained as a pet therapy dog, okay? So
No, she's not. No, it's not. It's just a regular old dog that y'all haul around everywhere. It don't have no special therapy dog skills. The only thing y'all do is give it drugs.
Just helping ease concerns, stress, anxiety with students.
No, not people with xenophobia, not people who are not dog people like me, not people who think these dogs, these mutants stink. Huh? What about dog people? Not for people who are allergic. What is with you lunatics? Making this crazy assumption that everyone is accepting of dogs. That is insane.
Ease concerns, stress, anxiety with students, even with staff members.
Olive Ann is named
Boy, they're all over the country doing this nonsense.
Art in honor of Ann Smith, a beloved local teacher of over 30 years who died of ovarian cancer in 2002. Olive Ann tells me she's excited to take on such an important role in the school. But she
That wasn't cute at all. And I bet you they did not sanitize that microphone and they went on to stick it in other people's faces. This food-obsessed mutant sniffing on the mic, constantly looking for something to eat. That's so despicable.
But she has a lot of work on her plate.
Look at that. Are you kidding? This is dog worship.
Of severe mental health concerns like depression and anxiety in children.
This is in the school. That's inside of a school.
Rates of severe mental health concerns like depression and anxiety in children and teens have risen substantially in recent years.
I think a lot of times people don't realize that, we think of, oh, they're young, they don't have things to worry about, they shouldn't be that depressed. But depression and anxiety can hit them just as much as it can hit anybody at any age.
Highlighting the importance of bringing accessible care to children where they are.
Wow. What a bunch of liars. I can't wait to get on this petition. Look at that, again, look at that line. That's ridiculous.
Of bringing accessible care to children where they already. Hitting the importance of bringing accessible.
Depressed. But depression and anxiety can hit them just as much as it can hit anybody at any age.
Highlighting the importance of bringing accessible care to children where they already are.
They're not able to drive themselves to make an appointment. They're not able to,
Listen to this. This is why they force the dogs onto the students while they're at school. He's trying to argue that it's some type of convenience for them.
And they're not able to.
Importance of bringing accessible care to children where they already are.
They're not able
Wow.
to drive themselves to make an appointment. They're not able to, sometimes they don't have the time or the transportation. So there's always those barriers, and it's harder sometimes to make sure that those kids get the help that they need.
But Scott Shope, Olive Ann's owner and a school resource officer,
Wow. Imagine walking up to a school and an off-leash dog comes bearing through the door, just like what you see here. That's your modern school today, Americans. And these nutters, they want to turn our grocery stores into this. In every public space, they want it to be just like this.
Shope, Olive Ann's owner and a school resource officer, says she is already rising to expectations.
She's a great dog, and she's a great addition to our family, and she not only brings joy to the kids in the school, but she also brings joy to me and Wendy to have her around.
Look, lunatics, dog lovers, these people are plumb out of their minds. They're plumb out, and they all think like this. Each and every one of you think like this. you're ready and willing to force dogs onto everybody. Everybody, every crowd, no matter what group of people, you think it's okay to bring them into every public space in this country. These people are crazy. Y'all need to stop promoting insanity. That's all you're doing.
And she not only brings joy to the kids in the school, but she also brings joy to me and Wendy to have
Hey, dogs, they bring joy to me, to her, and everyone. Oh, dogs love everyone. Everyone loves dogs. No, they don't, nutters. Are we really having this discussion? Were y'all born yesterday? Oh, they bring joy to me and everyone. No, they don't. Lord, as if we just don't exist. See, this is a big reason why we've created so many spaces on the internet. And don't pretend like y'all not aware of us. We got hundreds of thousands on Reddit, on dog free, pit bull victim awareness. Several groups on Reddit. There are several discussions on Quora, Facebook. I believe there's a couple dog culture critic pages on Instagram. Definitely on Twitter. What are y'all talking about? And most definitely here on YouTube. I mean, this is crazy. How long do y'all plan on pretending like the whole entire world is full with nothing but dog lovers? Trying to pretend like we don't exist.
Around all the time.
And the grandkids.
And the grandkids and our kids.
In Johnstown, Olivia Bosser,
Sick. Now imagine being an employee and being forced to be in this picture, being forced to be around and interact with this dog. This is what's going on. Now, this would not happen at my job, but this can happen at other people's jobs. I would not put up with this. And if you're ever in a situation like this, you have to make a scene. You have to reject it. Our numbers are low right now. Oh, well. We got to make our presence known, because for as long as they force dogs onto the general public, they're going to keep doing it if the general public continues to accept it. And that's what's happening. Every group, every crowd, every space these dogs are brought into, everybody accepts it. I don't. I've made several scenes in public spaces and will continue to do so. And what you'll see is once you object, you'll find other people who object. They're going to be comfortable with saying something once they see somebody else saying something. Horrible. And again, I want to hear from you staff. I want to hear from you CEOs. Some of you owners of these handler businesses. Where y'all at? I'm speaking directly against, I'm taking money out your pocket. You don't want to defend your profession? You don't want to defend your lifestyle? Y'all know better. We're not crazy, and nuttery is always in the wrong. You don't have no argument, no objection to anything that we have to say, and it's going to always be that way. My goodness, help these people. Help these people. I get to a point where I feel sorry for dog lovers. You know, they can't snap out of it. Many of them don't want to snap out of it. But just seeing them in that state where they've, been a lifelong dog nutter. Since they were born, since the day they came home from the hospital, surrounded by dogs and sort of, grew up into nuttery. Crazy. Man. Yeah. And yeah. My decision to use my name, I Hate Dogs, was to trigger people to object. You know, my name is in a way lets you know I want all the smoke. You know, dog lovers, first thing they're gonna say, "Oh, you hate dogs? Or how dare you hate dogs?" And then they're gonna come with the rhetoric, and the rhetoric always falls flat. Then what? I'm gonna keep up with AME. What was that guy's name? AME dog, whatever. Because I expect him to eventually close his channel. Did y'all see that video? I shared a video. Oh, we have to watch that. We got to watch that. Because I shared it the first time I saw it. That was the first. This one right here. Okay, y'all remember this guy. Look at this guy.
No public forum.
Oh boy.
Hey.
What?
We're here.
Okay, you can't be in clubhouse property, you have to be down.
No, ma'am. Not at all. This is a traditional public forum. I've been through this with you guys before. I'm allowed.
Wow. Deputies try to violate my rights again, and the dog hate cult loves it. You're all by yourself, buddy. Where your partners at? Where your team at?
Allowed to be right here where I'm at.
Okay, that's for my sergeant, so
you can tell him.
Yeah,
you can.
Yeah. So what is he doing? They're in court, and what does he have? Let's look at his sign here. Look at that.
That's not happening today, is it, guys? That's not happening today, is it, guys?
Was it justice for Bella? What happened? That mutt tried to attack somebody like they always do. Somebody defended themselves and unalived it. Sent it back to the lower room where it came from.
Couldn't do it without you. Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Means a lot. And thanks for being here in this fight with us. Couldn't do it without you. Well, I could, but I'd rather not.
Well, it's good to see you out there by yourself. Good to see you don't have much support.
By those deputies. This will end. And he said, it was all about this right here. And basically, the guy just brushed it aside. And I said, you're not going to read it? And he said, I will later. There's no one in there right now. At all. This will never be read by those deputies. This will end up in the trash at the end of the day. I promise you that. But what's fucked up is I just said...
People looking at him. Walking around. He got his little sign. Uh-oh, and the cops came. Oh, here we go. This guy.
I'll be in there, but if you'll step down there where I asked you to the last time, I don't mind y'all staying there. It's just down the steps, right there to the right on that cement, where they do the VIN checks. Where I asked you to go last time.
What's changed?
This dude out there by himself. You advocating for justice for a mutt, and you out there by yourself?
They've just opened themselves up for a lawsuit.
So they kicked him off. They kicked him off that little porch. He said, go down the steps off to the right somewhere. They don't want you right there in front of the door where everybody that comes and leaves has to see you.
Nothing. I got it. We're having some issues with the staff.
This dude, all for child predators. These worthless vermin mutants.
The good thing is they've just opened themselves up for a lawsuit. And the bad thing is that we're here about this dog. So to keep the peace, I moved down. That's just for today. But they cannot tell me where I can and cannot be.
You say that after you moved, or?
And I was not in the way of anyone.
See, always making a nuisance out of themselves. This is one thing that really annoys me about these dog people. Always trying to bring attention to themselves and make a scene, cause a scene. That's the main reason why they bring dogs into public places. They're just trying to make a scene. They want a bunch of people to stop and pet their dog and give them compliments on their dogs. Pathetic behavior.
Modern retro, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Okay, enough this guy. Okay, look at this. Okay, I tell everybody who comes against us is unhinged.
We only had 3 left. Why lie about making a complaint? She most certainly did. Hence.
This is the guy who came out against me, against us. All of us.
Stayed in this area right here. Never moved.
Okay. Could you imagine seeing this guy? Maybe you going downtown to handle some business and this joker outside the building. Oh my goodness. Say it ain't so. All right, let me get out of here. I always enjoy my weekend streams. The streams I do during the week, I don't like being in a rush. And I'm always in a rush. Either, no matter if it's after work, when I'm way too tired. Usually I'm dead tired after work. And I don't like talking after work when I'm tired because it feels disrespectful to the listeners. You know, they're sitting up listening to some guy who's half asleep and, you know, he's not as sharp, you know, his thoughts are not as well put together because he's tired. Then if I do a stream before I go to work, I'm mindful that it has to be so long. It can only be so long. Then I got to get out of here. So my content is different when I'm in a rush. That's one thing I've definitely noticed. So I'm going to try to produce more content on the weekends. It's just that I'm usually dead tired, so I'm resting and all I can do is rest. I work too much. But bear with me, and I hope you all can join me on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade.